Welcome back to the history lecture of Standard 7th. We have started chapter number 2, India before the times of Shivaji Maharaj. In the previous lectures of history, we have learnt about various dynasties existed in India before the times of Shivaji Maharaj. We have also studied about invasions from the northwest, Sultanate in the north. During the reign of Sultan Muhammad bin Tughlaq of Delhi, there were many revolts in the south against the central power of Delhi. From these revolts, two kingdoms were formed. One which we studied in last lecture about the kingdom of Vijayanagar, and another is the Bahmani kingdom. So let us learn how this new kingdom was formed and who was the first Sultan of Bahmani kingdom. While Muhammad bin Tughlaq was still reigning, some of the Sardars of Muhammad bin Tughlaq on Deccan rose rebellion against him. Means they revolted against Muhammad bin Tughlaq. The leader of these Sardars was Hasan Gangu. He defeated the army of the Sultan of Delhi, and a new kingdom known as the Bahmani kingdom was formed in 1347 CE. Hasan Gangu became the first Sultan of Bahmani kingdom. He made the city of Gulbarg in Karnataka his capital. Next, we will learn about Mahmud Gawan. Who was Mahmud Gawan and what changes he brought in the Bahmani kingdom? Mahmud Gawan was the chief wazir of the Bahmani kingdom. He was a good administrator. Now, being a good administrator, it is necessary to provide proper facilities to his subjects. Subjects means people. So, let us see what changes Mahmud Gawan brought in Bahmani kingdom. He strengthened the Bahmani kingdom. He started paying the soldiers their salaries in cash instead of land grants. Previously, it was a system of granting lands to the soldiers instead of their duty, which was changed by Mahmud Gawan, and he started paying their salaries in cash. He brought discipline in the army. He also introduced many reforms in the land revenue system. Reforms means changes. According to the size of land, revenue was fixed. He also opened a madrasa at Bidar for Arabic and Persian studies. After the death of Mahmud Gawan, factionism increased among the Bahmani Sardars. Factionism means disputes. After Sardars of Bahmani kingdom had conflict with Vijayanagar kingdom, had an adverse effect on Bahmani kingdom. Difficulties were going on increasing. After the death of Mahmud Gawan, the empire of Bahmani kingdom disintegrated. Disintegrated means breaking into many small parts. Death of Mahmud Gawan and conflict among the Bahmani Sardars led to the disintegration of the Bahmani kingdom into 5 small powers, that are Imad Shahi of Warhad, Barid Shahi of Bidar, Adil Shahi of Bijapur, Nizam Shahi of Ahmednagar, and Qutub Shahi of Golconda. Now we will learn about Mughal power. Who was the founder of Mughal power and how did Mughal power established in India? Students, if you remember, in last lecture we studied about Babur. Who was Babur? Babur was the ruler of Kabul. He was invited by Daulat Khan Lodi to fight against Ibrahim Lodi. Who was Daulat Khan Lodi? Daulat Khan Lodi was the governor of Punjab under the Sultanate. And who was Ibrahim Lodi? Ibrahim Lodi was the Sultan of Delhi. Why Daulat Khan Lodi want Babur to defeat Ibrahim Lodi? Because Ibrahim Lodi was not a good sultan. He had many enemies because of his such strange behavior. And there was not so good relation between Daulat Khan Lodi and Ibrahim Lodi. So, Daulat Khan Lodi invited Babur, the ruler of Kabul, to fight against Ibrahim Lodi. Babur was the founder of Mughal power. He was the king of Farghana in Central Asia in today's Uzbekistan. As Babur was aware of the wealth in India, he was already planning to invade India, and he got this opportunity to march on India by Daulat Khan. There was a battle between Ibrahim Lodi and Babur on 21st April 1526 at Panipat. In this battle, Babur made use of an artillery effectively for the first time in India. He defeated Ibrahim Lodi's army. This is known as the First Battle of Panipat. Babur won the battle. He defeated Ibrahim Lodi. And now Babur turned his attention towards Rajputs. After the Battle of Panipat, Rana Sangh, the ruler of Mewar, brought all Rajput kings together. There was a battle between Babur and Rana Sangh at Khanua. Babur's artillery and reserved force played a key role in this battle, and the army of Rana Sangh was defeated. After the defeat of Ibrahim Lodi and Rajputs, Mughal power was established in India. Means Sultanate of Delhi came to an end in 1526 CE. Babur established Mughal power in India, but he could not rule for the longer time, as he died in 1530 CE. After Babur, Humayun ascended the throne, but he was defeated by Sher Shah. Sher Shah established the Sur dynasty on the throne of Delhi. But Sur dynasty did not last for the longer time. Again Mughals attacked on India. After Humayun, Akbar ascended the throne. There was a battle between Akbar and Hemu at Panipat in 1556 CE. This is the second battle of Panipat. Akbar's ambition was to bring the whole of India under one central authority. After Akbar, Jahangir became the emperor. During his reign, his wife Noor Jahan played an active role in the administration. Jahangir followed by Shah Jahan as the emperor. The next emperor after Shah Jahan was Aurangzeb. He reigned for a very long time. After his death, the Mughal Empire became weak. Akbar was the most powerful king of the Mughal dynasty. When he tried to bring India under his central authority, he had to face opposition. Maharana Pratap, Chand Bibi, Rani Durgavati struggled against him. Their struggle was noteworthy. So, in next session, we will learn in detail about Maharana Pratap, Chand Bibi and Rani Durgavati.